Alright, welcome to episode 72 of Adventures in Inbetweening, and today I'm going in the Wayback Machine looking at something I worked on in 1996, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas. I did special effects assisting here.
Question. Not a chance, dream on, an impossibility, forget it. It's a most painful reminder of it.
Come on! What are we waiting for, Christmas?
Right. We must conduct a search of the grounds. Lumiere, you're with me.
Cogsworth! I'm waiting! I think we finally found a use for you. Clockboarding! No, snow clocking!
Alright, some cool stuff there. Now this is, first we'll start off with this scene. This scene, I remember we had the exposure sheet, the dope sheet up on the wall. There was 120 levels in this shot. And I was relatively new to the industry, and I was just like, okay, you know, we were initially only having 5 levels per shot, just because of cells, the limitations. And so this is digitally ink and painted, and inked and painted. So we were able to get away with a lot more, and we definitely pushed it as far as we could. Now, what we animated in here, so special effects, I should break it down. Effects on this pipeline anyway meant that we took character drawings and put them down in order. Then we would put blank pages in order in between all the character drawings, and we would flip those and draw the effects one frame at a time, one drawing at a time on top of the character animation. Now you can see what's going on with the ripples here. I just wanted to put this in as an artifact of the process. You can see the ripples are shifting up and down there. That's because the actual holes on the paper sometimes got a little bit loose, and so when those got scanned in, they shifted a bit, and that was the end result. That was just part of how the process went. So you can see that in that previous shot, drawing some ripples, in this shot here, drawing tones and highlights. And this might seem like pretty mundane and pretty boring stuff, like I'm just literally going and cleaning up, not even fully animating, but a lot of times cleaning up and in-betweening the highlights and the tones on each character. The flames, you know, are kind of more creative and more interesting, but still, again, when it comes to assisting, it's more about working with what's already there. The shadows as well. So flames, I mean, there's a lot here. There's thinking about the light source. There's thinking about, okay, flames are always going to go up. They're going to drag off, but pieces break off as well. There's a lot of different aspects of the job that have to be used. You have to know a lot about a lot and basically study natural phenomena and try and represent that in such a way that it's believable, not realistic necessarily, but believable. So anyway, I had a lot of fun. This job, I was doing this for 3.5 years. Now, I'm pretty sure I did the shadows on this one. It was a long time ago, so anybody, if somebody worked on these scenes as well, please forgive me for you know, misremembering, but I'm pretty sure these are the ones that I worked on. So you can see the tones there. We want to make the wreath feel round and full. That's the whole idea of putting the shadows on here. And a lot of these details, as soon as you got a jaggedy detail there, you want to make sure if that's going to animate frame to frame, that it's going to animate on, it's going to animate off smoothly. Want to always have interesting shapes there to describe and suggest the pine needles. We got the shadow underneath Cogsworth here as he's jumping, drawing the tone on the character, as well as the shadow on the wreath there. It's such a, on one hand, it's a very technical exercise to draw effects, and on the other hand, it's very creative. You get to, there's no right way to do it necessarily. There's 100 different ways that all work equally well. And it's, I really, this job cemented a lifelong love of effects for me because it was early in my career, so it kind of was part of my foundation. And I think I always liked effects in the first place. Drawing, like here, we've got some snow. So in this case here, Lumiere is going to come down the hill riding on Cogsworth's back. And you can see there's a little bit, a hint of a snow here. I love that idea. That's very cool. Snowball is rolling to guide our eyes to that point. And then the characters are going to come in here. Now, as characters come through, you can see this snow that's in the foreground. All these big chunks here. Again, this is very, there's a lot of different ways this could be done. The snow chunks don't have to be just one way. There's options there. Now this overlay here and this underlay are put in front and behind of the characters, and that's just exposed and revealed as the character goes past. So that's just one drawing. Now all of these snow chunks that are being flown back here are all conveniently, you can see there's shadows there. I don't remember drawing those shadows, so I think those are added in the ink and paint stage. But all these pieces of snow are just going to fall back into the hole that was made from Lumiere and Cogsworth there, which is very convenient. Okay, this was done on 16 field paper. This was a massive, this paper was like a foot wide. It was probably 8 feet long. You could see how long this pan went on here. And literally, we had this piece of paper that was rolled up. And it was, you know, you would put your paper on top of that to draw the effects. Look how long this was. This pan was just phenomenally long. And this is just how it works sometimes. So you're going through frame by frame and matching up to that portion of the exposed background as the path going down the hill is revealed. Just a heavily technical exercise with a lot of things that could go wrong, a lot of time-consuming drawings that need to be done here. And again, this was all drawn on paper with pencils and then scanned in and digital inked and painted later on. So when we were going to the line test machine with this stuff, you'd literally go up with a huge stack of papers and you'd be putting it there, and every frame you'd be adjusting it down a little bit, down a little bit, down a little bit. When I look back, I'm thinking, wow, I'm amazed that we ever did it that way. And you know, of course, 2D animation is still done to great success in the world today. But this is just when digital ink and paint was starting. You can see again, look at these snow chunks here. Lots of fun shapes. And just thinking about the three-dimensionality of them. Drawing like this, I'm sure this took me at least a half a day to clean up, maybe even longer. There was just so much detail here, and we were always thinking about line quality. Those weren't just putting it down. It was always putting down the right line, flipping, make sure that line is going to flip with the previous drawings. Here, last shot, we've got Lumiere coming in with Cogsworth, some snow coming off of them, showing the silhouette, and then boom! On this one frame contact, hundreds of pieces of little snow break off, trailing those flames. The color pops there are really nice. Now, whenever we're animating all these different shapes with hundreds of little pieces flying around, we're not going to animate every single tiny little piece and flip that. It's more about the overall shape, almost squinting your eyes and saying, okay, I've got a bigger shape, some smaller shapes, some medium shapes, some smaller ones, and I'm going to flip those and make sure that those are working. If you're going to try and animate every single little piece, it's just going to take too long, and honestly, it's going to lose some of its appeal, I think. I can see there's that overlay that was left behind, a new overlay trail being revealed in the distance there. Again, thinking about those basic shapes. If you go frame by frame, it's not exact, but we have the overall feeling of progression there that is what we need. And those extra little pieces of snow falling on the ground just to show interaction with the background. Yeah, so long ago. It was a fun job, and I was lucky that I was able to work on this stuff early in my career and take that forward with me. And thanks for checking it out. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.